Thank you, Ashley. Good evening. Welcome to meeting of Hanford Town Council, 12th of July. Should there be a fire alarm, it means there's a fire. Please get out. First available access. Item 22.19.1. Apologies for absence. Thank you. 22.19.2. To receive declarations of interest and requests for dispensation to discuss and vote on a matter in which a member or cooperative member has a disclosable pecuniary or non-pecuniary interest. Do any councillors have any interest? None? None? Thank you. 22.19.3. Open forum. Comment and questions concerning items on this agenda may be put to the council by the public during this period. Matters which, in the chairman's view, require debate and/or discussion will be referred to the next committee/council meeting as appropriate. Items not pertaining to the agenda may also be taken at this time at the chairman's discretion. Public forum is restricted to 15 minutes and strictly 3 minutes per person unless the chairman allows otherwise. Any questions from public forum? Could you? Sorry, could you give your details to the council, the clerk, where you live? Which ward are you in? Which ward do you live in Hanforth? Sorry, the ward in Hanforth where you live. Yes, the ward. South Ward. Yes. Right. Yes. Thank you. Yes, it does. We've budgeted for contributions to the 130 bus for the last 2 years, Ashley. Contributions, yeah, to ensure that it remains running. No, we don't have control over that. It's the bus company that runs the bus company. You're welcome. Any more questions, Alan? Yes. Yeah, well, we're quite open to groups, as you know, in Hanforth, making requests of the council for grants. And if we do get one from the Friends of the Park or someone else wanted to do it, we always look at those grants, usually favourably. No more comments? Thank you. We'll get on. Item 22.19.4. To approve and sign the minutes of the Hanford Town Council Environment Committee meeting of 14th of June 2022. Does anybody have any comments about these minutes? No? None? Okay. We therefore have a proposal to approve. Councillor Moore, thank you. I have a proposal to second. Yeah. And a vote, please, in favour. Thank you. 22.19.6. To receive a report from the PCSO. Gareth. Oh, beg your pardon. Sorry. My apologies. 22.19.5 to approve and sign the minutes of the Hamford Town Council meeting of the 14th of June. Are there any queries on it? Any issues? No?
Yes, you guys will remember.
Mic towards you, no.
Is that better?
I don't know, can you hear?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You guys might recall, I had objected to the Friends of Hamford Parks discussion that we had the meeting before. That's not actually recorded in the minutes that I had objected to it. So I just wanted to make that clear, unless if I'm missing something. So I had said that I didn't agree with the previous meeting's minutes.
Yeah, you can go on doing.
Okay. So do we? So the minutes, the last meeting's minutes, where I had objected to it, it makes no reference to who had objected or if we had all approved it. Yes, it doesn't have to say I had specifically objected, but I thought it would have included a bit saying, so many councillors agreed and one councillor disagreed. I would have thought, and he's missing that bit. Okay.
Yes, if there's a vote taken, then it's recorded.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, well, you can record that on there for me, please. Thank you.
So did we actually agree whether or not anyone had any issues with the minutes, other than Councillor Nisa? Nobody else? Okay. Can I have a proposal? Councillor Moore. Second. Councillor Julie Smith. And a vote, please, in favour. Thank you. Certainly.
Councillor Neeson, it's not good practice to keep abstaining. You can abstain if it's personal to you, but usually, if you've been on the training, I'm sure that the trainer will have informed you that you either vote for or against, or you abstain on a personal issue. Okay, thank you. So, am I correct in that?
And did we vote in favour and against? Did we vote then? Just tell me. Yes, right. Make sure I'm not listening to something out. Now, Gareth. 22.19.6 to receive a report from the PCSO. And could you even stand a little bit closer so that those with the hearing problems, which don't
Just a quick question on these 3 regulars. Is there extra support being sorted for them, or is there anything else we're planning to do to stop those calls being made? Thank you for that, Gareth. If you could just have an update maybe at next meeting as well on this, that would be great. Thank you.
Just a question, Gareth. That Operation Hercules, which is West Midlands, what sort of success have they had, you know? Fine. And if when Cheshire Police see that it's working, we'd like to think that they're going to probably do the same, are we? Excellent. Does it have to be purely on the A34, or can it be used on the major routes? Yep. Okay. Thanks for that. Are you leaving straight away now? Okay. Because I just like to give you something, a little bit of intelligence, a name on there, somebody who's back in town. I think you know the person concerned. Thank you. Thanks for that, Gareth. Item 22.19.7 to approve and sign the order of payments for July and August. Any? Yes, no?
I noticed that a few of our councillors have undergone some training. I'd like a report on how the training went, and if you found it, what's the word? Useful. And
I was
it wasn't
going
just
to comment
a
on that at the end of notices and correspondence.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Order of payments. Anybody any queries with the order of payments? July and August? No? Can I have a proposal to approve, please? Thank you. Councillor Sampson and second. Councillor Moore. Thank you. And a vote, please. Unanimous. Thank you. 22.19.8 to receive a report from Ward Councillor Julie Smith.
Thank you, Chair. We held another successful litter pick in the village, which was attended by over 30 residents. We collected 23 bags of litter. I'm hoping to arrange another one for early August. Onward Housing Association funded a community skip day, which I helped manage on Spath Lane Estate, which again was very successful and resulted in a full skip of unwanted items. The feedback from residents was extremely positive, and I'd like to continue providing skips around the village every few months to cut down on fly tipping in the area. I've been involved in a project this month to provide prom outfits to those members of our community who may have found themselves excluded from these events due to financial reasons. We asked for donations of dresses and suits, which we were able to loan out. A total of 50 dresses and 10 suits were donated by our generous community, and I'd like to thank them. We hope to make this an annual thing so that no student ever needs to be excluded for reasons of cost. I'm helping Time Out Group to organise a Paddock Fun Day, which will take place on Saturday, the 6th of August, to which any community group, charity organisation or residents are invited to have a stall. I will ask Ashley to put the contact details on the Town Council website. Last Monday, I attended a highways event in Crewe, where I had the opportunity to speak with the different departments about issues concerning our village. We should find out about the Handforth to Wilmslow cycle lane at the beginning of October, apparently. I have asked for an update on what work is planned for Merriton Road, which is in an ongoing state of disrepair due to construction works taking place on the fairways. A few weeks ago, I requested that the zebra crossing at the junction of Station Road and Hall Road be changed to a pelican crossing to make it safer for residents crossing the road. We collected data from the speed indicator device over a 2-week period in both directions, and I submitted this to the road safety officer, who analysed it and deemed the crossing safe. I have to say there, I think, was it about 80%, Ashley, of cars were speeding over the speed limit, but it was deemed safe. I also asked for an inspection of the approach to the mini roundabout at the junction of Welham Road and Finsbury Way to ensure that people were made adequately aware of it. I've also suggested that it should maybe have something placed on it to ensure it is treated as a roundabout and to prevent motorists driving straight across it. An update on the slow road markings to the east and west of the station. Apparently, as it would be a costly exercise to just carry out this work, I have been asked to provide details of other work that could be carried out simultaneously. I have asked that the parking bays outside Tesco Express be repainted, as when I've been speaking with parking enforcement officers, they have advised me that it's sometimes difficult to enforce restrictions due to the bays being inadequately marked. This is being looked into as to whether it can be included in with the slow road markings. Cheshire East will commence weed spraying on the 1st of August, which I know will be good news to all residents. Last month, I reported that the long-awaited parking project on Spath Lane was being done. Unfortunately, following the meeting, I was contacted by a resident who objected to the work, and myself and the design engineer met with her the following morning to listen to the concerns. As a result of the objections, it was decided to call a public meeting, which was held last night, and which some councillors attended. As a result of that, it's now going to public consultation to the immediate properties and the wider area. For the past 2 Saturdays and this coming Saturday, I will have been in the library from 10 till 12 and have invited any residents who need help claiming the £150 energy rebate to come along, and I will help them to complete the online form. I've had quite a few residents, probably about 15 residents have turned up over the last 2 weeks, so it's obviously needed. And that's it.
Chair, can I just add? So I know you mentioned that they've asked for more roads where the markings can be cleared, and I know you've mentioned the Tesco and also the road here as well. Could we include Hall Road in there near the school, possibly to have marking on the floor to make it look visibly smaller? I have had this discussion with Gareth previously, and we said it would be quite good for us to have just visually narrowing the road so people actually slow down on the road. Oh. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Just one, can I just make a comment, please? On the Tesco parking. I had an incident the other day, and I know we have discussed this before. You know, where people walk across from the pedestrian crossing across the grass. And as I was turning in, a very small chap was coming across, who I couldn't see over, and he walked right in front of my car. Fortunately, I was going very slowly, as I always do, and I didn't hit him. But I understand we can't have a path. Is there a possibility of putting some form of fence? Where? Oh, I know it goes round. No. But there is actually a path. Yes. The road. What I was meaning was, could we block off that entrance between the trees to where the cars are parked by some form of fencing to just avoid that scenario? It was a bit scary, to be honest, and I know it's probably 1 in a million chance, but I wouldn't like to be the one that ran somebody over. Because if you've got a high-sided vehicle and you park next to them, you can't see people coming through there. It was just a thought when I was sat there. I thought, do you know what? You could just block that off with a fence. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. And on that point, perhaps can we include the disabled markings, the bay, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Next item, 22.19.9. Motion is to receive a recommendation from the HTC Finance Committee following receipt of a grant application from First Handful Scouts towards the costs of the installation of a new electrical distribution board. Grant requested £500. Finance Chair.
Yes, there was a representative came from the Scouts and he explained exactly what it was required. However, Councillor John Smith informed him that he'd had one fitted 2 years previously, and after doing some research found out that he'd been overcharged quite grossly. So he explained to the Scout leader that he needs to be aware of this before he commits himself to spending the money. As far as I'm aware, the Finance Committee unanimously approved the grant.
Thank you, Councillor. So now, anyone else got any other comments about the grant for the Scouts? Anyone? No? Can I have a proposal to accept from the Finance Committee? And second, Councillor Sampson, thank you. And vote in favour, please. Unanimous. Thank you. Item 22.19.10. To agree support for St Benedict's School in providing uniform for those struggling families who've been unable to afford the uniform costs during the current cost of living crisis, up to a maximum value of £1,000. Chair, yes.
I spoke with the head teacher of St Benedict's today on another matter, and it was raised. She apologises that she couldn't attend, but she's on a residential. She did try and get in touch with our clerk, but didn't realise that he too was on holiday and wasn't back in harness. However, she has 50 children who will not be able to have the uniform unless we help. Now, I've also advised her that some of the children live outside of the Handforth catchment area of the town council. And I've said that if this donation goes ahead, she must put in a request to Wilmslow Town Council for a donation towards it, because the children live in the Wilmslow Town Council ward. I've also given her the information about the Wilmslow Aid Trust, and I've spoken with the Treasurer, and he has no problem, and he's going to contact her. And I think it's a sad case when during this time children are going to school with shoes that aren't fit for purpose.
Thank you, Councillor Sampson. Anyone else? Any comments on that?
Can I just say, so if there are 50 children, is £1,000 really enough?
It's 50 children, and it's possibly at a cost of £50 to completely kit them out. So that would be £2,500. So if we contribute towards the 1,000, they ask for 500 from the Wilmslow Aid Trust, and they ask Wilmslow Town Council to match fund what we donate. She will have sufficient money to clothe them. But I think going forward in the future, I think we need some form of contingency in our budget to accommodate for instances like this. But it's up to other councillors to discuss it.
Thank you. I'm just wondering, it can't just be St Benedict's. The same thing must be happening at the Grange as well.
It isn't, but because the Grange have already asked us for some funding for the Breakfast Club, they didn't want to mar the course. But I have said, if there are any children that are in dire need, the Grange need to come to us and tell us. Okay.
Can I also make a point that if we do agree to give this money, that the school buy the uniform?
Won't be given to any parent.
Right. Or they're given vouchers for a specific shop.
No, the school will project.
Okay. I think it sounds like a very worthwhile thing for us to get involved in and contribute money to. From my memory, I think St Benedict's we've provided funding for a few applications from St Benedict's over the last 12 months. Right. Okay, so we are okay. Oh, great. Okay. That was just the thing I think we should need to bear in mind, that it's been two schools and yeah. Okay.
Just a final point. If families are coming to councillors and stuff, of course, you guys will be aware there's a household support fund that the families could apply for as well to help with the crisis. So please do make them aware through the Cheshire East website, and if they need help, they can come to us.
They can't use that fund for uniforms.
I'm just saying generally, because of course there are families struggling with other things as well. So I just wanted to add that in there.
Specifically for uniforms. They do know Cheshire East have advertised if there are any families in need, and I can assure you there are.
Can I just check, Councillor Sampson, will you be in talks with the Wilmslow Aid Trust and the Wilmslow Town Council, so project manage it from that end? Okay. And so up to a maximum value of 1,000, can I have a proposal? Thank you, both Councillor Smith and Councillor Sampson. One's make your own mind up. Okay, and can I have a vote, please? Unanimous, thank you. Yes.
Sorry, before we move on, what do councillors think about having a further contingency fund in our budget?
I think that there are areas within the budget which, should there be an emergency, we would, I think, be able to respond by varying. Yes. Yes. It would be nice if we get to the next chunk of precept without a great deal of expenditure. Yes. So yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Perhaps I don't know whether we need to put in a line for the next year's budget about. Yes. 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 And it may. Yes. Yes. Okay. Good. Thank you. 22/19/11. Motion is following the receipt of £5,454 grant from Onward Homes and a £5,000 grant from the Cheshire Police Crime Commissioner to agree the project management of the installation of new floodlights at Hamforth Youth Centre football pitch. It costed 10,000, and Ashley liaised with people who do the Christmas lights, and they did an inspection of the existing poles and supplies. Excellent. Yep, they've looked into it. Yep, they've costed out what it's going to cost. The grant that came from Onward, very useful. And then on behalf of Hamforth Youth Club, Janet Taylor put in a grant application to the Cheshire Police and Crime Commissioner and managed to get the other 5,000. So particularly thanks to Janet Taylor for that. And what we're just looking for now is for the council to accept that Ashley will be project managing the actual installation of the new floodlights. Nobody any objections to that? Can we have do we need a proposal and a vote? Yeah. Can we have a vote in favour of that, please? Yeah. Still need a proposal? All right. Proposals, there you go. And the vote was unanimous. Thank you. This one, 22/19/12. To agree a spend of up to £824 plus VAT on 3 additional new litter bins for various locations in Hamforth. This is one of the things that the town council does. We supply bins. Have some been flagged? Someone's nicked one? Yes. So yes, councillor.
Can I make a suggestion that we have one outside Willow House at the bottom of the footbridge, please? Yeah, because it's an absolute state at the moment.
Proposed sites, Ashley.
One for where, sorry?
The walkway that goes underneath the train line. Yeah. Okay. Have a proposal, please, to accept that.
Can I please just ask a general question, just
Yes.
for my knowledge going forward? So, isn't it Cheshire East that should be providing the bins?
No.
It's us that do it. So they know that they're going to do. Okay.
Yeah.
So we report to them saying that's where we put the bins and.
Yeah, where they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
And answer do the emptying for all the bins here, parks, and the ones that are on the streets.
A question. On the quote, it's possible I've misread this. I think the wording on the quote makes it sound like we get 3 bins for £244, which, granted, that sounds crazy cheap. So the quote is just being misworded. Okay.
Everything's going up, isn't it? Yes.
Certainly need
Okay.
them.
So can we have
One more
a
question? Sorry. So if the bins keep getting stolen, do we need to put contingencies in place to make sure they don't get stolen, or is there going to be anything in there?
the nature of the beast is that it has to be liftable in order to get the rubbish out. So, and if we wanted a secure bin secured to the ground, that involved groundwork, and we would be spending a lot more than that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Okay, thank you.
okay. And yes, can we have a proposal? Councillor Smith, and a second. Councillor Moore. Those in favour? Thank you. Unanimous. 22/19/13. Following receipt of leaflets from Hope Central suggesting pressures on their food bank reserves, to discuss any possible assistance Handforth Town Council might wish to consider giving to Hope Central in the future. Councillor Moore.
Yes, I put this motion on for tonight after receiving this leaflet through my door, which says they're running very short of food, and that horrified me. As most of you know, during lockdown, the council, I proposed that we put a substantial amount into Hope Central, which didn't actually happen until 2021, but they are absolutely desperate. The clerk has contacted Steve Burmester, and he has said that the food bank is very depleted and they are in desperate and dire straits, and they would welcome anything that the council could do to help them. My proposal, well, the amount is up for discussion, but I just thought if we can support the food bank, it might just alleviate people's worries about food. It helps in some way because there's a lot of families struggling with an awful lot of things: uniform, food, electricity costs, and all the rest of it. If we can support Hope Central, then I think that's a cause that HTC should support.
Yes, I totally agree with Councillor Moore. However, I would like, if we support this motion, that it is only given to Handforth residents, because in the past it's gone all over the northwest, and that's not what our precept is to be used for.
Correct.
So if I could add that to the motion, please.
I think that was what we said last time when we actually put the proposal forward, that it be used only for Handforth, which I think, yes, is absolutely correct.
I just say that I've had this conversation with them at Hope Central as well, and to be honest, there aren't that many families in Handforth itself that Hope Central deliver to. The majority of them are Lacey Green and Coleshaw, which comes under Wilmslow.
Right.
So,
I mean, is that what Steve Burmester said to you?
Generally, yeah. But if you ask them, there aren't that many, because I go in from time to time and offer to go and deliver in Handforth, and I'm told, well, no, because there aren't that many in Handforth. So maybe, I'm not saying I think we should support them, definitely, because I think it's a fantastic organisation. But as we did with the school uniform, suggest that they contact Wilmslow Town Council as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they fund match with us.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But it's in our
they can't
town.
Logistically, they can't say, oh well, we'll only use this money for Handforth, and well, they've said they have, but it's not logistically possible to say, well, we'll have that fund just for Handforth, and Coleshaw and Lacey Green will have to use. Yeah.
Yes, and that's a completely different animal. Yes, yes.
Can we ask them to submit an application for funding, and potentially, if they know where their assistance goes to by council area, then it wouldn't necessarily be a matter of Wilmsley matching. It would be a matter of them providing a proportional support, because if 2/3 of it's from Wilmsley, they should be providing twice what we provide.
Mm?
Yeah, I understand that. With Councillor Sampson, would it be possible to put this under the umbrella of your discussions with the schools with St Benedict's and Wilmslow Trust, and talk to the same people at Wilmslow Council and Wilmslow Trust, so that it's that which is needed in Lacey Green or Colshaw comes from Wilmslow, that which is needed in Hanforth comes from Hanforth. I mean, we do work together with these people. No, but yeah, I understand that, but proportionally, if they say there's 100 families, 60 are in Wilmslow, 40 are in Hanforth, right? Well, 60-40%. Yes.
Oh, well, it is, but it's
Okay.
well, perhaps it's just that people don't want to be seen to be going there. I don't know.
Okay, so carry on.
I'm not too specific to try and get folks in either. Just go in and get a bag of food.
Yeah. There has to be some guidelines for Hope Central to actually follow, doesn't there? So
Yes, it's not our remit to talk about their operational.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're asking Councillor Sampson to include that as a two-package thing, and discussion with. What we need to know from Hope Central, what's there.
No, we were hoping that somebody was going to be here tonight, but they couldn't attend. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think that's a good
Okay,
idea.
so should we defer this, Ashley? Yeah. But yes, but we can defer.
Sorry, say that one again, Ashley.
Yes.
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 Yeah, I'm happy
Right.
for that to take place.
If Councillors Moore and Sampson are going to pick it up, that's
You're right.
excellent.
It needs further. That's why I didn't put down a proposal for an amount of money. It needed a discussion to hear what councillors are thinking about.
Yep, quite right.
So,
okay. And we'll get the action coming back out of.
yeah.
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 Yes. Okay. What I would say though is if there is a desperate need flagged up imminently, that we might have to do something. Yes. Okay. The council happy with that?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that. 22/19/14 to receive notices and correspondence. Anything, Ashley?
Yes, there's two things I want to just discuss. The matter that Councillor Sampson brought up, that myself and Councillor Nissa attended a training session, and I did circulate all the notes from it because I found it incredibly useful. There's a lot of stuff that you forget, so it's useful. But if you read through some of the stuff that Jackie Weaver has sent through to us, I think it's quite illuminating. I found it very useful. I don't know about Councillor Nessa.
I definitely found it very, very useful, and I like it how it was more of a discussion to ask questions and actually discuss some of the things that go on at the council meeting. So I found it very useful, and I would recommend it to anybody. If you have time, go to it.
Yeah. The other one was just to update you on the Environment Committee and the working group and the website working group. We advertised for people to come and join, and the closing date was Friday. We have had 3 members of the public come forward, and 1 member of the town council has come forward for both groups. We've already started some research. It's very clear that there is some work to be done on the website. It's not a quick fix. It's going to take some time, but I'm hoping that come October time, maybe November, we will have something written in tablets of stone, but I will give you updates along the way.
Thank you, Councillor Moore. And 22/19/15 to agree the date of the next HTC meeting to be held on 13th of September.
It's not Friday.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.